Welcome back to another speed rebuild here in Madden 26 franchise mode, and today we are doing the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And so if you are new around here and you haven't seen one of my speed rebuilds before, basically the challenge of this video is I only have 10 minutes to make trades to try and rebuild this Buccaneers team and turn them into a Super Bowl winning team for a one-season simulation. And I'm doing the Buccaneers today thanks to a suggestion I got on a previous video. So just looking at this Bucs team, we are an 85 overall, 87 offense, 84 overall defense. On offense, we are headlined by our 97 overall left tackle, Tristan Wirfs. He is one of two players on this offense that are above a 90 overall. We of course do also have Mike Evans here as well. And throwing the ball to him, we have Baker Mayfield at 87 overall, who will also be handing off to an 86 overall running back, Bucky Irving. So I would say for sure these four are probably untouchable. I guess it's possible I do try to improve upon Baker Mayfield just to see maybe we could get a 90 overall plus at quarterback, but I wouldn't count on it. I would say more than likely I'm going to hold on to Baker Mayfield because trading for quarterbacks is really hard to do in this, which I mean makes sense. It's like the most important position on a football team by far. So more than likely I will keep Baker Mayfield, but it's possible I do explore trying to improve upon him just to see if I can. If I do have time. I only have 10 minutes like I said, so I won't be spending too much time trying to do that. But as for everyone else on this offense, I would say is pretty expendable. I'm very willing to improve upon most positions. Maybe wide receiver I don't try to trade for because, I mean, Chris Godwin at 83 overall, and then we also have an 81 overall wide receiver 3. So, I mean, wide receiver I would say we're probably good. Maybe wide receiver is also a position I don't look to improve, but checking out the 84 overall defense, we do have two 90 pluses on this defense. Vita Vea, 93 overall, a beast on the defensive line. Antoine Winfield Jr. out there in the secondary, 92 overall. And then Jamel Dean, 87 overall corner. Levante David, 86 overall corner, who has to be like 52 years old by now. How old is he? He's 35. So we do have a veteran presence on this defense. Well, also Hassan Reddick, he's got to be at least 32. He's actually only 30. Okay, I guessed incorrectly. But yeah, this defense, despite being an 84 overall compared to the offense's 87, the defense does have some pretty good talent here. Like I mentioned, Jamel Dean, Vita Vea, Antoine Winfield Jr., Levante David. I would say these guys are most likely not going to get traded. Maybe Jamel Dean at 87 overall if I could get like a 90 overall or higher corner. However, I would say more than likely these four will be my untouchables on defense. But as for everybody else on this defense, I could very well imagine myself improving upon. So we will see how this will all unfold. But yeah, this team 85 overall. Ideally we can get up to a 90 overall. Our offense should definitely get at least to a 90 overall if we do want a chance at a Super Bowl for this one season simulation. And as for our defense, if we could get it to like an 88 overall, I would be pretty satisfied with that. But yeah, I don't have any more yapping to do. I think we should go ahead and actually jump right into doing our 10-minute rebuild. And alright, with all that being said, we're going to go ahead and start this timer here in 3, 2, 1. Okay, 10 minutes on the clock. So what I want to do first here is trade for some offensive linemen. So Drew Dahlman, Jonah Jackson right off the rip. We can actually stay here with the Bears, and we can try Darnell Wright. He's going to have a lot of trade value because he's 24, but if I were to do a first without anything, that's actually decently far. What if I were to put in like Graham Barton, Cody Mauch, and Luke Gadecki? Would this, it's actually pretty close. If I put in like a fourth and a fifth, this should be enough to really bolster our offensive line, and it will. First trade, we're not even, well, we are 40 seconds off, but we're not even a minute off, and we already improved this offensive line in a big way. We still could add a left guard, which I will look to do. Jonah Jackson, I mean, we could improve upon him. However, that's a big improvement. We'll take that. So I would also say tight end we could look to improve. So let's check out a team that we know would have, I mean, we could go David Edwards, 78 overall, and then, I mean, let's try to get like a little higher overall, like David Njoku. Then we could also go with Joe Bitonio. And then who else on this Browns team? We could go for JOK. 83, oh well, Devin Bush, he's a higher overall, so we'll go for him. And then yeah, so we'll put K. Dotton in this deal, and then we'll also throw a linebacker in here. So We'll put Dennis in this deal. Without any draft picks, how far does this get? Wow. Okay, that's not far at all. What about a second and third? Would that be... Wow. Okay, well, maybe we'll take out Joe Bitonio and go for, like, Wyatt Teller. Or we could go for Tevin Jenkins. We'll go for Wyatt Teller, 79 overall. I mean, it's further, but very far off. What about a second-round pick? And that's enough. We get our second trade done with the Browns there, and now we are just over 2 minutes off the clock. So we're looking pretty good. I would say we can move Rachaad White. He should have some pretty decent value. And then Sterling Shepard, we could also flip him. But yeah, our offensive line is good. We could get everyone to at least an 80 overall. We could look to explore that. I would say edge rusher now. That's something we should definitely focus on. So we also do have 2 first-round picks. So going for like a 90 overall edge rusher, it's possible. We could do that. Greg Rousseau, 88 overall would be nice, but he's going to be very difficult to get. You know, we'll go for him. We'll see what we can get going here. So we'll actually keep Hassan Reddick in this deal. And then, I don't know. I mean, we'll just see with a second. It's not going to be enough, but I'm just curious. Wow. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if it's going to be feasible. If I were to ask for like Ed Oliver, and then, I don't know, we could also get Teron Johnson. If I were to put this first rounder in, how far? Yeah, we're going to have to look elsewhere. It's just not going to happen. So what about Nick Benito, 91 overall? This is going to be even more difficult. Yeah, understandably, he's a 91 overall. So, I mean, we could go for like Joey Bosa from the Bills. He's pretty old. He's an 85 overall. Would Sean Murphy Bunting start for us? He might be corner 3 at 78 overall. He would be. So yeah, there's really no point to trade for him. We'll take him out of the deal. What about Budda Baker? He would be really nice to add to this secondary. We'll put Tyke Smith in this deal. And then, yeah, a first-round pick, I'm very willing to give up. I mean, it's decently far. If I were to put like a third, second, would this be enough? It won't. What if I were to put like, I don't know, would Sterling Shepard be enough to move the needle? No, he's not. Okay. Yeah, maybe we just go for Josh Sweat. So Hassan Reddick in a second will not be enough. So we'll put Sterling Shepard back in the deal. And then a third. Would this be enough for Josh Sweat? It's very close. We'll put 4th, 5th. This should be enough for Josh, and it won't. What if we were to throw in maybe like a player, like, I don't know, 74 overall corner, just barely. Benjamin Morrison, we'll put him in the deal. That should be enough. There we go. Josh Sweat, welcome to Tampa Bay. We could use another edge rusher, I would say. We could improve upon, what's our other, 80 overall. Yeah, I would say we could definitely do that. Linebacker, we could use one more. And then corner, maybe another one that's at least an 80 overall. But also maybe a strong safety that's at least an 80 overall as well. So what about if we were to go for Joey Bosa? Do the Bills have... They do not have a safety we could trade for. But we could use a corner. Teron Johnson should be not all that difficult to get. And then we don't really need that high overall of a third linebacker. So we could go for Shaq Thompson. Joey Bosa, 85 overall. We only have one first rounder left. Oh no, we have 2. That's right, I didn't use my first rounder in that deal. So we'll use the least valuable of the 2, 2028. I'm not sure if this will go through. So just to be safe, I'll ask for like a 4th, just in case I'm overpaying. Okay, I'm not. We'll take the 4th rounder out. And then that's already very close to going through. So 5th, 6th, is that, okay, it's not going to be enough. What about 4th rounder for this package from the Bills? There we go. Huge trade with the Buffalo Bills there, as we have 4 minutes to go on this speed rebuild timer. So maybe we do improve upon Baker. It's possible. We could do that. If I were to put like Baker and this first rounder in a deal, could we get like, I don't know, is Joe Burrow feasible? Probably not. Yeah, as I expected. I don't know. It's worth a try. Like, I don't know, we could go for Dak. I mean, we could do that. Is there any other quarterback? Jared Goff, 88 overall. Drake Mays, an 89, but there's no chance we could get him. Matthew Stafford, since he's ancient, that's actually decent. This 3rd rounder and this 5th for Matthew Stafford. Okay, yeah, it's probably not going to happen. So, yeah, I mean, it's probably, we could trade for, no, we can't do that. I was thinking of somebody else, but yeah, that's not going to happen. So we'll put Rashad White in this deal, see if we could flip him. And then Jalen McMillan, he should have some decent value. So I would say we could improve upon safety, 79 overall. And then, yeah, our defense outside of that, we could use another defensive tackle. So yeah, safety and defensive tackle, we'll look to improve upon that as we have 2 minutes to go. So what about Hufanga and like DJ Jones? Or we'll go for Zach Allen. Without any draft picks in this deal, okay, what if I were to put in... I'm willing to give up the 1st round pick just because we only have 2 minutes to go. So, and that's not even going to be enough. What about the 3rd and 5th for these? Okay, yeah, we'll just look elsewhere. I would like to get a package if I'm giving up the 1st round pick, which it does seem I will have to do. Could we get Calais Campbell? What's his overall? 82. I'm looking for more like an 85. Grover Stewart, and then could we get Cam Bynum? 82 overall. I would do this. So I probably don't even have to give up my 1st rounder. We could probably save it. So what about this 3rd? Very close to going through. We'll take him out of the deal, and then we'll put in Kalijah Cansey. I guess we'll put him in this deal. It will not be enough. So what if I were to put Logan Hall? Oh, I can't even do that. We got a minute 30 to go here, so put this 5th and 6th in. Will that be enough for this package? Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put this 1st round pick in this deal, and then I'll also ask for like a 2nd and 3rd. Could I get that back if I were to do that? Okay, we'll take out the 2nd, and we'll ask for like a 4th, so we can make one final big trade. So, big trade with the Colts there. We have a minute to go to make one final trade here. So, we'll make it a good one. So, we'll put this 3rd, 2/3, a 4th in this deal and see. Maybe we improve upon Chris Godwin and then also Jonah Jackson. So, if we could get like a wide receiver and a guard in this deal, I would consider that a win. So, I guess we could also flip Parrish here. We'll see if we can do that. But yeah, wide receiver and guard, DJ Moore, and then Joel. No, that's not going to happen. Yeah, we'll just look elsewhere. Wide receiver and a guard. Could we get T. Higgins? Do the Bengals have a guard? They do not. Okay. We'll just keep looking for a guard that's like an 80 overall. Okay, you know what? What if we... Oh, wrong team. Joe Bitonio and Jerry Jeudy, 81 overall. He's actually not even improvement. So... yeah, we don't really have the time. We'll just go for Joel Bitonio. We'll take Chris Godwin out of the deal. And this will be my last trade if it goes through. There we go. We got 4 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Timer's going to go off. There we go. So I was kind of expecting a little bit of a bigger trade to end off the 10 minutes there. But we improved this team. We made some pretty big improvements, and I'm going to adjust a few positions around, and then we will check out what this team is looking like. So the defense is indeed an 88 overall, and the offense is above a 90 as we conclude the 10-minute rebuild of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Just looking at this offense, this offensive line is elite. Bucky Irving is going to have a 2,000-yard season behind this offensive line, and Baker Mayfield, he'll have 10 seconds to throw on every play. Like, this offensive line is looking great. And we also added David Njoku in here. I believe the offense was an 87 overall before, so we improved by 4 overall points, and this offense is in position to win a Super Bowl, I would say, for sure. And also, what we are going to be doing is we are going to be running the Rams offensive playbook. Normally, I do run the Bengals offensive playbook. However, the Rams offensive playbook is very balanced, whereas the Bengals one, you're throwing for like 5,000 yards and your running back barely gets any carries. So we're going to make the switch to the Rams one. We'll see how this goes, but yeah, this is the 91 overall offense. We will now look at the 88 overall defense, who is a 100% scheme fit, even though Levante David, Josh Sweat, Cam Bynum, Teron Johnson, and Antoine Winfield are not. but somehow we are 100% a scheme fit. So that's very interesting how that works. But regardless though, this defense looks completely different. We only have a few starters who were not traded for: Greg Gaines, Vita Vea, Levante David, Antoine Winfield, and Jamel Dean. Everyone else is new to this team. We improved our pass rush with Grover Stewart, Josh Sweat, Joey Bosa. We improved our linebackers with Devin Bush and Shaq Thompson, who you can't see because this is a 3-4 alignment, but he's still going to play. And then of course we added Cam Bynum, Vikings legend, and Teron Johnson into the secondary. So yeah, like I said, this defense looks completely different, and overall this team is very well rounded, and I think we are in a great position to win a Super Bowl with this defense as well as this offense. This team is very well rounded. We're an 89 overall. That's one of the highest rated in the game. That might actually be the highest rated in the game. I don't know for sure, I didn't check, but we are in a very good position to win a Super Bowl, and I think it's very likely that it could happen here. So without further ado, we'll go ahead and go through with simulating the season. Before we do that, we'll do a quick record prediction. So I think for sure we should win the NFC South. If we don't, I would actually be very surprised about that. But I would say for my record prediction, probably like 13-4. I don't know, maybe I'm being very optimistic because I haven't seen the Rams playbook like for my own team. So it could suck for all I know, and we could just go for like 0-17, which would be horrible. But I don't know, I feel pretty confident with the Rams playbook. From what I've seen, it is pretty good. So, you know, I'll go with 13-4, very optimistic, but I'm very confident with this team. I think as GM, I did my job in making this team as good as I possibly can for a one-season sim, so we'll see how that goes. But yeah, you guys can comment your record prediction if you would like, and without further ado, we'll go ahead and sim through this season. And as this season simulation is going on, if you guys have enjoyed this video so far, then feel free to let me know in the comments which team you guys would like to see me do a speed rebuild of next. I do have a playlist of all the previous ones I've done, so feel free to check that out after you finish watching this one. But we go 11-6. We do win our division, I believe we do. Yeah, we tied with the Falcons, 11-6. So we didn't do as good as I expected. However, you know, we did do pretty well. We won our division, so we'll take that. Mike Evans, though, top 3 in terms of receiving yards. And yeah, there's Puka Nacua. Like I said, this Rams playbook is very good offensively. And as for team ranks, we were a top 10 scoring, top 5 passing offense, whereas rush yards, 25th, which I expected with the Rams playbook would be a lot better. But, I mean, if we used the Bengals one, we would be like 30th, so I guess that's a step up. Defensive-wise, we had a top 5 point-scoring defense and a top 10 run defense, whereas our pass defense, 20th. Considering how good our secondary is and how good our pass rush is, 20th is very bad. I'm actually very surprised it's that low. So yeah, the defense is really going to have to step it up here in the playoffs if we want a chance at winning a Super Bowl here, but we'll do a quick player upgrade. But we take on the Philadelphia Eagles, who also went 11-6. They are a 91 offense, 89 team overall, 87 defense. So our ratings are similar besides defense, where we do have a little bit of an edge there. They of course have Saquon Barkley, Devontae Smith, and Zach Bond coming off a Super Bowl win. They were a top 5 scoring offense, top 3 running offense, passing yards, they were top 15. Defensive wise though, they were middle of the pack, letting up points. Their pass defense is horrible, so our number 4 passing offense has to take advantage of that. Rushing defense, they were very good, 2nd in the league. However, we don't run the ball that well. In terms of league leaders, they have Saquon Barkley, top 3 for rush yards, and Quinyon Mitchell, 2nd place for interceptions, but technically tied for 2nd place. And Nick Benito, he had 20 sacks. We almost traded for him. But yeah, we'll see if we are able to win at home here at 8:15 at Raymond James Stadium. And we do 35-30, so it was a very close game. And now we take on 13-4 Lions here. But it looks like Antoine Winfield had a pick 6, Baker Mayfield 4 passing touchdowns, 24 of 30. So Baker Mayfield, he went off 3 carries for 1 yard though. I'm assuming he was kneeling, so he lost yardage on that. But man, this Lions team is insane. They're top 5 in everything besides pass yards, which, I mean, our pass defense is horrible, so I guess that works out for us, but this Lions team is really good. We'll put it that way. Top 5 in literally everything, like I said. That's crazy. So yeah, this will be a tough one. They are the number 1 seed in the NFC. Actually, no, I was wrong. They're the number 2 seed. They tied with the Seahawks, who went 13-4. Do they have any league leaders? They do not. And we do hold the overall advantage over them, so maybe we see a little bit of an upset here in the divisional round. We'll see if we can advance onto the conference championship, and we lose 17-11. We got outgained by over 100 yards. Our rushing yards were, 74 yards on the ground is pretty good. We threw 161 yards. How, dude? So Baker Mayfield was just inaccurate, I guess. Under 60% completion. Sacked 4 times. Jared Goff threw a pick. We did not. Only 1 passing touchdown. That's so frustrating, man. I guess it really just came down to we were not able to move the ball at the rate that they were. They had more time of possession. They also turned it over. We did not. And we were not able to take advantage of that. We only scored 11 points, man. I know this defense is really good, but only 11 points. We are a 91 overall team, 93 offense, and we score 11 points against an 88 overall defense. I guess maybe defense wins championships. I guess that's what it is. And it's going to be Chiefs 49ers here in the Super Bowl. We'll advance quick. We did not make a single trade with either team. We'll just see, just for fun, who wins, and it will be the Chiefs 28-20. Nick Bolton wins MVP. So we had a 90 overall team, and we were not able to get the job done, and we lost in the divisional round. That's an incredibly disappointing ending, but we can't win them all. We tried our best, and we fell just short. So with that being said, that will be the end of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers speed rebuild here in Madden 26. If you made it all the way to the end, thank you very much for watching the video all the way through. I really appreciate that. And if you enjoyed this one, feel free to let me know in the comments which team you guys would like to see me do next. And also feel free to check out the previous ones I've done up in the playlist on my channel. And if you've already seen all of those, then feel free to check out my fantasy draft challenge videos. And I'm also doing a Raiders franchise, so feel free to check that out if you're interested. But yeah, that is all I have for you all today. Thank you all so much for watching. I will see y'all next time.